Let's start with the 30. We had a bounce, of course, out of $76. Today, I believe we did 80, and then we're retracting back to 78. We all remember the strategy. We're going to be buying only the lower boundaries or the lower fib levels, taking profits every 75 cents or every 1.2 cents, $1.20. We did 80, of course, rejected the neckline, and so we're just doing shoulder levels below the neckline. That was as of yesterday. Let's take it live. I believe today we are beginning to see, and just take this immediately to 30 minutes. We are really beginning to see entry levels. So we're back. We're going to be seeing negative momentum, and this strategy calls to buy negative momentum. The market will attempt to throw you off, throw us all off by showing that there is an extension in negative momentum, and this is going all the way down to the head level. This is just going to level 1, probably, and the shoulder levels. So we begin to implement like these green arrows are showing. We're going to be only implementing at 50%, at 38.2%. Actually, the first hour starts at 50, then 38.2, and then 23.6. If you see it down, if you see the market just moving down, of course, don't implement at this point. Wait until you get a negative momentum extreme, either on the 5 or on the 15. We're beginning to see splatter momentum here, or on the 5. Bear with us a second. We can do the labels, but we don't really need to do. Of course, if we're trading something, you have to get all the information in. I believe we're just seeing a level 5 at this point, because you have a 3 definitely at this point. So this is just a 5 minute, but that's what we're trading. So it doesn't really have to be a high degree. If you see that very strong negative momentum, it must be a wave 3 all the way up here, a 4, and so we're doing a 5. And the 5 shows a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, and a 5 almost. Can still go to the downside, all right, but we are doing some kind of basing, and that is what is required. That's what we want to buy it. Remember, always buy negative momentum if we're going to implement that strategy that we're talking about, which is buy internal fib, retractive fibs, and specific pivots, and just go 0.75 cents higher. So the next pivot is support 2 at $78. Yes, it's a bit shady. Let's have it highlighted. Usually the market bounces support 2, so we can use this. So we're gonna have it highlighted. All right, now it's highlighted. $77.83. So we take an entry at $77.83 at 70 cents or 75 cents. Takes us to $78.60, actually, around $78.60. You're seeing here $78.19. We are seeing up here $78.40. $78.60 is really around the moving average. Okay, so is this going to work? It is tested, it should work. How does it work? We just have the entry at the pivot. Even if the market goes higher, we don't chase the market. The key is that you buy the supports and not midway, and not buy the resistance. The key again is to buy the lower supports. So this is the higher of the lower supports. So we just stick with the supports. If we don't get the entry, we don't do it, unless we see reversal into continuous degree 3 positive momentum, and this is not going to happen. So we can see splatter momentum. So we always buy the lower supports or the higher value of the lower supports. This is the first. The second, if we want to really commit to a successful strategy here, is to implement. It could be risky, but you need to implement, let's say, not a very big size, but a size that will make a difference to our earnings. Because I don't have to take profits at 75 cents, after 75 cents. Assuming I wanted to do, say, $500, and the distance will give me the $500 if I'm using, for instance, 50 contracts, or if I'm using 70 contracts. So I would want to use 70 contracts and take profits not at $500 but at $350. Because usually on a bounce, the market moves very fast and then slacks. So by then I've done half size, probably I've done $250, I've done $350. I close out and buy again at the next support. It will save me time as a resource, accumulate my profits, and at that point I just need to do the trade twice to generate the $500. So if we're going to be implementing the strategy, it must be on size. If we feel uncomfortable implementing a high size, perfectly understandable. I would never implement a high size in something that I'm not fully experienced in, that I don't frequently trade or don't actually, uh, that I do not frequently trade. So if I don't frequently trade oil right now is not a swing trade. It is not a position trade. Oil is a buy support, sell resistance trade. As a fundamental, we usually do not sell oil unless the fundamentals change, and therefore it is really just a buy support, sell resistance trade at this point. If we're not into this kind of a strategy, then it's best to stand out and do and focus on other issues, other trading issues. All right, so I believe that brings us to an end of issues and questions and brings us to an end of our analysis today. To recap on what has been going on, we have seen a slightly weaker PCE number. It simply declined by 0.1 of a percentage point, but this created a bit of weakness in the dollar. Could continue into tomorrow, because if you're seeing the headline number weak, then usually the internal components are also not very strong, if not weak altogether. We get tomorrow personal spending, personal income. We also get the price component inside of the PCE number itself. If these are weak, we continue then to see dollar dovishness. As a result of this, today we've had a breakout in the measures against the dollar, specifically euro and sterling dollars. We're still investing, longing into the sterling yen uptrend. We believe that it is possible that we get also an uptrend in the United States dollar against the yen. We talked about this in detail after PCE tomorrow, because we believe that the market has simply been consolidating shoulder levels all the time since the beginning of the week. So the coming move should be to the upside. Gold has now confirmed the bounce to the upside. We've been looking at this. There is a trigger to take. The US Tech 100, we believe, is now generating a trigger to the upside. This trade is good at least until the end of the day tomorrow to long into. Once we get a confirmation on the 5 minutes, Bitcoin has also reversed now to the upside. This is a feasible trade to take, because we're really at the reversal bottom, probably. And if we engage now, we'll probably be able to take some kind of a profit tomorrow and carry the remainder across the end of the week. Oil is just a supply demand trade, meaning you just want to buy supports, take profit at the relevant resistance, or just take profit within 75 cents of entry. All right, I hope we have covered all issues. I also hope we're all doing well and have been able to generate good yields this week. It's really been great having everyone with us throughout the day today. We look forward to be all together again tomorrow. With this, I'll leave you all tonight. Wish everyone the very best. Take very good care of yourselves, and good night.